Testing, testing. The presser is the best pal. Testing, testing. Well, now you know it. This is my real voice, and I hate it so much. As you can tell, my accent is not very good, since English is not my native tongue. That's why I was using a virtual voice. I have two main reasons for this change. First one, the virtual voice I was using was a free trial I could only use once a month. I couldn't wait for another refresh, so I just stopped using it for long videos. Second and most importantly, with the crisis of AI replicating real life and replacing jobs, I don't feel right using virtual voice acting for me. Anyway, this is Josh from Enable Labs. He has been narrating my content since the top 5 PC games video, and this is the last time you'll ever hear him again. Everyone, say goodbye to Josh.
Bye-bye.
It's gonna take a long time to get used to hearing my voice. Trust me, this is much harder for me than for you. Now, there's gonna be a few changes in the channel regarding my weird voice. I finally got a video capture device for my Switch. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you notice that I borrow some clips from other YouTubers, because the Switch doesn't let you record a clip for every game. But with the capture device, I no longer need to keep pressing the capture button literally every 30 seconds while I'm playing the Switch. So without further ado, let the video start. Nah, I'll never get used to my voice. Do you guys remember when video games used to be fun? It feels like an eternity, doesn't it? During these recent years, most AAA companies have failed miserably to deliver good service. Microtransactions, live service, bad online service, mediocre performance, unfinished product, cancelled projects, apology letters, bad labor environment, scams, and everything related to Overwatch 2. It's a nightmare, I tell you. Very few AAA games manage to become functional and beloved by everyone. So let's turn our heads to the good side of the video game industry. The world of independent video games. Made by small teams of creators, or sometimes by one person only. Financed from their own budget or by voluntary donations. Indie games are a living definition of freedom. Innovation at its finest. And we're gonna talk about them again. Before we start, there's something I need to clarify. In my last video about indie games, I made the mistake of adding a game in the honorable mention section. Brawlhalla is not an actual indie game, since it was financed and published by Ubisoft. Indie games are commonly known for their pixelated, hand-drawn art style or simple 3D models. And AAA games are known for their high graphics and massive world environment. With all the improvements of the indie games, it is getting difficult to distinguish them from AAA games. Remember what happened with Baldur's Gate 3 and David Diver and Goaty? If you see a game in this video that is not indie, please let me know in the comment section. This channel is mainly for entertainment, but it's also for education. We're all here to learn, okay? So without further ado, let's begin. I'm the Big Bro, and these are my top 5 favorite indie games, part 2. Palworld, or as everyone is calling it, Pokemon with guns, or as I like to call it, Spanish invasion with Pokemon. Palworld is an open world survival game where you can find weird creatures known as pals. You start with basic tools like wooden clubs, torches, bows and arrows, campfire, but soon you'll be able to craft modern stuff like a power generator, electric kitchen, assembly lines, and even firearms. When you get the right materials, you can create ball spheres to capture wild pals, and then make them fight for you. But not in a turn-based battle like Pokemon. They literally fight by your side like an NPC ally. You can make your pals do work on your base like farming, mining, crafting, transporting, etc. This is actually pretty neat, to be honest. Most of the NPCs in open world games are useless. Finally, when you're all geared up, you can challenge the boss in the tower. Fun fact, there is a glitch that lets you capture the bosses with your pals. And with the devs patched it, the fans got upset and they removed the patch. Dude, this is historical. Any other team would have ignored the complaints and move on. As I am editing this video, Palworld is still in early access. In other words, unfinished. You may encounter a lot of bugs and glitches while playing. It doesn't even have a proper ending. But still, Palworld is a welcoming change of pace from Pokemon and its real formula. It may never be popular like Pokemon, but this game is proof that indie devs can do better games than AAA companies. Who knows? If things turn out right, we might get Palworld merch before we know it. Aww. Rivals of Either. It's not surprising that I like this game, since I already mentioned it in 2 different videos. This is basically a pixelated Smash Bros. Or should I say, the successor of pixelated Smash Bros. Called Super Smash Land. Rivals of Either is a very basic version of Smash. For single player, you can try the story mode to understand the basic mechanics of the game, and enjoy a small story lore about the characters. You can also play an endurance round called The Abyss, which consists of various challenges like a multi-fighter ambush or target break. There are some other cool features this game can offer, but despite all this, it's not as iconic or memorable like Smash Bros. Until you try the Steam version. Yep. Ever since the Steam Workshop was available for Rivals of Either, everybody started adding their favorite characters and stages into the game. Rivals of Either is basically the greatest mod of Smash Bros. You might be thinking, what's the point of getting this game on another platform if I can add more characters on Steam? Well, that's because not everyone have access to a PC or a Steam Deck, whatever the motives the player has. Or simply don't like using Workshop. I already said this before, but here goes again. Not every gamer is the same. Whether it's a PC or home console, it's all about personal preference.
Just looking for the sports channel, Gary.
Shantae, half genie hero.
Don't let the cute art style fool you. This is one hell of a 2D platformer. The main game starts with Squirreltown being under attack by the pirate Risky Boots and her henchmen. And it's up to the local hero Shantae to save the day. Shantae can use her ponytail as a whip, and perform dance moves to transform into animals and other forms. At the end of each level, you face off a boss character and unlock a new transformation. Some bosses are very simple to defeat, but others require you to upgrade your skills. Upgrades can be purchased at the shop. You can also buy items and upgrade them to the point of being overpowered. It's all fun and games, but you can unlock a new stage right after defeating a boss. Sometimes you have to talk to townsfolk to get a clue of what to do next, and then do backtracking on a stage you completed to find an item for an area you couldn't access before because you didn't have the right information. There is also the alternate storyline featuring the main villain Risky. The controls are similar to Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, but it also requires backtracking.
I'll take it.
But the rest of the modes don't have backtracking, thankfully. You can play as Shantae's friends, Ninja mode, Beach mode, Jammies, and my favorite, Officer mode. Some are fun to play, some are very hard, but at least they're short and have optional collectibles. This actually feels like a refreshing 2D platformer. It reminds me of the classics of the Super Nintendo. No wonder why Shantae is a one of fire in Smash. But sadly, Fate has other plans.
The real reason why Nintendo doesn't want the workshop on the Switch.
Thank you.
A Hat in Time. Wow, haven't played a good non-Nintendo 2D platformer in forever. How long was that? Anyways, you play as a girl known as Hat Kid. She's on her quest to find the missing timepieces in order to repair her spaceship and return to her home planet. You will visit various map stages like a town of mafia men, a movie studio, a spooky forest, the mountains, etc. You will also meet iconic characters with funny dialogue.
You've done so for the last 10 years, darling.
This movie studio is too big for the both of us, DJ. Grooves.
Young lady, if I catch you in the studio, you'll receive a ticket so big you'll be in debt for years.
Hat Kid can equip several hats that can give her special skills. You can add badges to your hat so you can perform cool moves like grappling hook, fall damage immunity, laser beams, and even photo mode. But even without the hats, Hat Kid is a very acrobatic character. Sometimes you'll find yourself in a tight spot in a stage, and you must use what you learned about platforming in order to get to your destination. And just like Rivals of Either, a Steam Workshop is also available for a hand in time. Players can create and download original stages, as well as new hats and would modify and or new mechanics. It's very nice to see indie games like this. It shows that devs can still make good 3D platformers as long as they put their heart and soul into it, and not put whatever the hell was in Balan Wonderworld. are set, the Jewel of Faramore. Basically Zelda's LDI, but more fun to play. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I wouldn't expect anything less from the guy who made a great series of our childhood. Cave Story. A bit of Mega Man, a bit of Metroid, and a bit of bunnies. Celeste 64, Darkness on the Mountain. The team behind Celeste celebrates its 6th anniversary by releasing a 3D remake. But I think a fitting name for this would be Celeste Sunshine. Fez. This reminds me of the 3D mod in Paper Mario Wii. Apparently the author of the game is a jerk. But who cares, just have fun. Forgotten Anne. Puzzles? Epic story? Studio Ghibli like art style? I'm in. Footsen Forest. This feels like one of those hidden gems on the SNES. And I'm a sucker for all that. Freedom Planet 2. I don't get why Sega kids are making the classic Sonic games. I'd rather support the spiritual successor. Guacamelee. Wow. A Canadian dev team knows better about Mexican culture than I do. Hollow Knight. I didn't know a game could be so cute and dark at the same time. Oh wait, there's Pikmin, I forgot. Iconoclast. Most of the indie Metroidvanias are dark and gloomy. This one on the other hand is colorful and cheerful. Kamiko. If you compare it to the first Zelda game on NES, it's more of a hack and slash rather than wall exploration. Party Heart. A pixelated stealth game where you must kill some noisy neighbors, because they won't let you sleep. Just play lovely with handphones, man, that's what I do. Pocket Rumble. Fatal Fury Pocket Edition. Rumbo. This is one of those games that is better to be played with friends rather than playing alone. Unless you're an introvert like me. Shovel Knight. The most hyped indie game in history. And it's about a knight slaying monsters and protecting the innocent. With a shovel. Untitled Goose Game. Nope. It's not a joke. That's the actual title. You are a little goose with one simple objective. Make everyone's life miserable.
Limbo, according to theology. Limbo, according to Tobago.
Start! Finish!
Limbo. Man, this takes me back to simpler times where I didn't know how to buy DLC. So instead I watched my favorite YouTubers playing them. The game doesn't explain much of the story, other than what it says in the description. A boy wakes up in the middle of dark forest, and embarks on a journey to find his sister. But he constantly stumbles on various obstacles that prevent him to move on. Sometimes it's no-brainer, like when you can't reach a further level, you just have to find something to climb up to, like a box for example. But the more you advance, the game gets more tricky and you have to avoid hidden traps. Sometimes you'll find yourself stuck in a certain area and can find a solution to a problem. But don't give up, just keep your head cool. The key to beat the game is playing with physics. The game doesn't have a tutorial, but you don't need one anyways. The controls are very basic and you only learn from your mistakes. I wish every game was like this. Most of them think we're idiots.
Aim for the cockpit. That's his weak point.
There's a guard up there. If you're going to eliminate him, use a gun.
We can jump on these mushrooms to bounce high in the air. Press the action button to jump on the mushrooms.
For being a simple 2D platformer, it is actually praised and beloved by many fans. This is why Limbo is my second #1 favorite indie game of all time. It shows that even the smallest things can bring bigger joys. Things like microtransactions and live service are completely pointless. All you need is a controller and your skills. And walkthrough videos on YouTube. To find an item for an er- to find an item for an to find an item to find an item for a new to find an item for an area you couldn't access before because you didn't have the right information.